Animal Companion Demon Hunter, one of the new decks brought to us by the Restoration of Azeroth class set. Up against a rogue here, I'm going to keep the Sylvanas, I'm going to keep the tame pet, the Migrating Elk. Generally speaking, I don't think this is a good keep. There's other stuff that we would rather have, so the question for me is it good against a rogue specifically? I'm going to say it's probably just not good enough. And I believe that Raptor Nest Nurse, at least in the early phases of the stats, is pretty good to have on turn 1, just that 1 cost spell. And actually a pretty decent little 1-drop here. Next turn, we're probably just getting minions on the board. Try to fight for the board as much as we possibly can here in the early game. A good 1-cost spell there. Rebuild the board a little bit, so so far we haven't really been able to do anything with our animal companions. We do have the tame pet in hand though. Just my biggest concern against rogue, I think, is always if they get a fast start, they can basically just kill you when they get things like the what is it, flashback that summons the extra minions. Go ahead and draw here. And we actually hit the Neri, that's interesting. So we're going to want to save our 1-call spells. We'll go face like this. So I highly recommend that you play with a deck tracker at all times, but specifically with this deck, it allows you to look and see what your current animal companions are, and we can see what these are here. They are not good, so we don't really want to be playing those just yet. Other than that, you're probably going to have to rely on memory, or you're going to have to be able to check on the game history over here on the side. So highly recommend a deck tracker just to be able to keep these things in mind. And I think I just want to save the Neri again. And I'm just going to go ahead and play the Sylvanas so that I can go ahead and clear their board. And I'm going to pass turn. So not getting the buff here on the 3/3, I think I would rather keep the 1-call spells with the Neri. We might actually just be able to combo our opponent down with some damage from hand. So on turn 6 we would have 4, 6, 8 from hand. We just need to be able to sneak in a little bit more damage over the next couple of turns, and we can actually just kill our opponents. Hopefully they don't get any randomly created healing. We know that Rogue is going to be creating a lot of random cards. My favorite part of Hearthstone, random cards. Says apparently some people. And unfortunately we're going to have to address this. We can't just leave this on the board, but we can do that with the Neri. We're going to have to go ahead and make our play. But we will do exactly that. Likely catching our opponent a little bit by surprise. They may not be able to remove the 2/5 now. We can't take full advantage of it. But we did certainly take away their ability to play like a Neralex Ysera, for example. Removing the 7/7 was just way too important. We're not really a combo deck. This was the best play that we were going to be able to make. We'll see if the Neri sticks. If it doesn't, it's not a huge loss this particular game, just because our hand isn't really doing very much with the Neri. We do see a flashback, but we can take advantage of actually a couple of spells. Do we have lethal here? 4. It's close. Can we roll a Huffer? Animal Companion Demon Hunter, still exactly the same. So actually we can't roll a Huffer. I was just joking around there. You want to keep in mind what your animal companions actually are. These don't do anything, so that's not going to want to be the play that we're going to make. We're going to start off with the Nightmare Lord Xavius. Try to find something within our deck that will be good for us. And honestly, it's probably the migrating Elic. Divine Shield and Wind Fury is going to be good. And then we're just going to work to remove our opponent's board here. We will push damage base with what we have left. Just trying to protect the Neri a little bit. If it is able to stick another turn, could have some potential for us here. Opponent only at 6 mana. We do have a decent board. They're at 9 health. And we are going to upgrade our animal companions. Good play for our opponent here. They're going to clear off some of our minions. But we still just have almost lethal. We're going to track and see if we can find it. And we do not. But the Sizzling Cinder, I think, is going to be the best out of these. Be able to get it down and play it. We'll see what we upgrade to here. It is random off of this one. 2 stealth minions and then a 3/4. The stealth minions would actually be really good. It's 2 out of 3 to hit a stealth minion here. But I think we're going to be better off just pushing face like this. And then we have the Sizzling Cinder. If one of those shots goes face, we'll be able to kill our opponent. So again, our opponent is on randomly created healing. They're going to have to Hearthstone us in order to be able to win this game, I think. They're going to go for a 1 mana location. They could generate 3 armor. I guess they're looking for 3 armor and a rusher. They get 3 armor and 1 attack. Does that help them? They need to be able to break this Divine Shield. If any minion survives, we just kill him with the hero power here. So we also could potentially high roll like both shots going face. Super unlikely though, and if you're yours truly, you don't expect outcomes like that literally ever. We can see that our opponent concedes, so bit of a strange game. This is not how you really want your animal companion game to go, but we were able to get there really just on the back of Neri and the cheap 1-call spells that are a part of the deck. We're happy to take the win, but let's see if we can get the deck to work the way it's supposed to. Right back into another game, but we're against another hunter, likely going to be a mirror match. We don't want any of these, and hopefully one of us is going to be able to get the deck to do exactly what it's supposed to do in buffing the animal companions and putting big beasts on the board. So I try as hard as I can to make sure that my videos are grounded in reality. So you might have looked at that first game and said, what's this big dummy doing? That wasn't really an animal companion game, but realistically, you're going to expect those types of games, maybe even as much as half the time with this deck. It can high roll very hard, and you can blow an opponent out relatively early in the game. And then you can also just not draw the cards that you need to draw in order to be able to get the deck to actually work. We're just going to take the other tracking here. Really just want to look for our animal companion buffing stuff. We want to have a good animal companion style of game here. Opponent plays Critter Caretaker, so I do recognize this from one of the lists that I've seen that does play this particular minion. We're not overly concerned about it just yet. And I'm just going to take the Raptor Nurse, and I'm going to go ahead and get it down. Jewel McCall, not great. But the random beast, maybe we could hit like a migrating Elic. We might have to lean into the Hearthstone RNG this particular game in order to get our deck to do something. Yo, deck, do something. But I think this is the reality of playing the animal companion hunter. You can see our opponent, they're kind of off to a little bit of a rough start as well. So not every game is going to give you that big blowout. That's going to be a little bit more on the rare side. And when you don't have those blowout games where you're just like, you know, huge animal companions very early in the game, then you're going to end up with games where you feel like you're just playing a wet noodle of a deck and really, really struggling. I think we want to save the Sylvanas. We might need it for a clear later. I'm going to start with the Jeweled Macaw, see what beast we pick up. Augmented Porcupine, not great, but it could be worse. And then I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to make the play like this. Probably get into Sands of Time next turn to start to see if we can put together a way to be able to start getting our animal companion stuff going here. But again, it just feels like a wet noodle deck. When you think about some of the better decks in the meta, when people go back to playing like Dragon Warrior, No Minion Demon Hunter, if you have a game like this, you may actually be already dead by turn 3, turn 4. Imagine we're playing against Dragon Warrior and they coin out the elusive Slither Drake 5/8 on the board, and we're doing basically nothing. That is not going to be good. A decent pickup here, though. Playing this on curve is really, really good for our deck. And I think I'm going to start with the Sands of Time, maybe trade and Sylvanas just to clear the board, and hopefully try to set up for what's going to be a slower turn, but an important turn on the turn 5 here. So we're going to start with the Sands of Time. Panther Mask to draw 2 cards is interesting. Start with that, but I think I'm actually going to rewind here. It's a little bit too expensive at 4 mana. Some card draw would be nice, though. The tracking is going to be very nice. And I am just going to go ahead and get the Sylvanas down, and then I will trade like this. Order fairly important here. I want to make sure that that 2 damage does actually go face. Next turn, we're going to get down our 5-drop. We're going to start buffing our animal companion. So that already in itself is a pretty nice buff. And we could actually consider, if we draw animal companion, just playing it, because 2 of the traditional animal companions could be really good here. So one of the things that we always have to keep in mind, we're actually running a Doomsayer. I think we play this anyway, even though we lose our board. Other option would be to to just replay some stuff. Let me go ahead and make the play like this. We're going to start to upgrade our animal companions. We'll go ahead and take a tracking. And I'm gonna set up with the 7-cost card here as well. Our opponent's moving just as slow as we are, so we're not overly concerned about that. And all damage can go face, and then I'm just gonna confront the Tolvir again. We're gonna track into some additional ways to be able to buff our animal companion. So now things are starting to look just a little bit better. We are going to burn a card, but that's going to be totally fine here. So next turn, we can actually just play our 5-drop and then Tame Pet. And then we're going to have at least 1 cheap spell to be able to play with the Broll. Interesting that they play Whelp of the Infinite. It is decent removal. Not super concerned about that just yet, though. Animal companions are at 5. I'm just going to lean into the animal companions here. You can also consider, when you get to really good animal companions, just no longer increasing the mana cost of them. These are okay, but they're not great. There's some good 6-cost drops, like the Bonechill Stegodon. Be really powerful. And they are going to maintain the Whelp of the Infinite on the board, but you can see our opponent has actually had a worse draw than we have, and again, it's like 2 wet noodle decks. So we're going to buff these to 8 drops. 8 drops are good. And then we're going to be able to choose one to summon, and I think we want the rushers. Or the rusher. We get a little bit of face damage, and we remove one charge of the poisonous minion, so that's pretty solid. Interesting. We have the Neri. So we're actually not playing against the deck that I thought we were playing against. I thought this was a mirror match, but their draw has been so bad. See, the 8s are okay. 10s are probably a little bit better. But we're just going to go wide here. Try to summon as many animal companions as we can. Which in this particular case looks like it is going to be 4 animal companions. So pretty solid here. We're going to take the Aeon Rend. And I'm going to play the 1-drop and just pass the turn. No reason to attack here. It's not going to remove the minion, and because this dies, it's also not going to deal its extra damage, so it would really just be a waste to take that trade. But potentially, I think we've actually just won the game through a big board of stats off of the animal companion, so nothing flashy here, but we are seemingly able to just overwhelm our opponent, and if they are able to clear this, in a way that we are not going to be able to kill them next turn, we just create additional animal companions. Try to flood the board out in that way. And they've actually done a pretty reasonable job of being able to clear the board. But I still don't think they're going to be able to kill us. Maybe if they have a buffed dragon that deals face damage, could potentially kill us. I think we might actually just have lethal here, though. I'm going to choose a Magma Hound. We want to hit this guy. And another Magma Hound. And we're going to get the exact lethal here. So, Animal Companion Hunter, there's these blowout games that you're probably going to see on social media. The deck doesn't always play like that. Sometimes you just kind of squeak out wins. Feel like you're playing a little bit of a wet noodle. The deck is fun. It's a little bit inconsistent. It does require just a little bit of thinking and planning what your Animal Companions are, what you can do with them. If you're interested, I definitely recommend to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.